Tooth Fairy.
My name is Peter James and I'm president of Franklin Homes. A quality roof installation starts with a quality truss. This is our 512-32 wide truss. We're going to show you how this truss works before we show you how we put them together. In order to get a truss like this, you have to have uniformity of cuts, good designs, and jigs to build your trusses in. We build these jigs to maintain uniformity in all of the trusses that we build. The jig we're showing here is for a 512-32 wide truss. This jig is designed with stops for the parts, it's designed with placements for the gang nails, and it's designed with pneumatic cylinders to hold the parts in place during pressing. One of the most important things about a hinge truss is the hinge nail placement. The hinge nail should be completely aligned. Without this alignment of the holes, the truss works like a door with the hinges misaligned. It will cause binding when it tries to move. As you can see on the jig, we already have one of the hinge nails placed over the pin indicator. We will place the other piece of lumber in the jig and then align the hinge nail over the top. To align the hinge nails, we have a pin that we place over the pin indicator to completely align those holes. As you can see, we do this alignment on each hinge nail on every truss we build. Now that we have the parts in place, we'll clamp the parts so there's no movement during pressing. Three things make a quality truss: design, uniformity of materials, and building in jigs.
I've been trying for a lot of years to educate the public on the many benefits of manufactured housing, especially as it relates to quality and the accuracy and the ability to build even better than site-built homes. I thought of a way to prove it. I've been doing some factory tours here for a long time, and I've noticed that the people who are touring the factory, whether it be a customer or a retailer or one of our developers, or even the inspecting people who come here to inspect. As we continue the tour, we always come up these steps where we can get a good view of the factory back to my right. When we get here and point back this way, looking at the roof jig, how straight and level it is, they say, well, that's really straight as a gun barrel. And I've heard that said so many times, if it is, you ought to be able to shoot through it. So I come up with a Mythbusters challenge that to see if you really could shoot through it. So in order for us to do this Mythbuster challenge, what we're going to have to do is shoot through 82 of these holes in this hinge plate. A good truss should be built in a jig to locate the center line of these hinges in exactly the same place on each rafter, so that when you hinged it up, the hinge roof would work well. We're going to use a .22 Magnum rifle with a 22 round bullet in it, set up on a stand. We're going to use a laser. This laser will project a beam 1,200 feet. The first thing we're going to do is set this laser up in the end of the gun barrel. Should be sure we can shoot through these 82 truss plates. This is all to show how very important it is to have all of the holes in the hinge plates exactly aligned, so there won't be any binding when the roof is raised. So that's where the problem starts, when you get these holes misaligned, so that the center line of the hole is not exactly where it should be. We're going to set up a transit down here and be sure that the table is level, that the roof is built on. By the way, this roof is 80 foot long. It's got 82 of these hinge plates in it, and that ought to be quite a feat. We're going to see if we can do it. See if it's a myth or see if it's a fact. To establish the level from one end to the other, we're going to use the same pin in the hole in the truss hinge that we used when we built it over in the truss jig. When we establish a reading here on this end, then we're going to the other end and do the same thing down there, and we'll see if we have any differences from one end to the other. So what have we got, Art? How much are we off?
One-quarter inch.
Quarter inch?
1/4 inch.
Okay, that ain't too bad. So the shots we took just now showed us that we had a 1/4 inch drop from this end of the table 80 foot down the line to the other end of the table. So we're on the high end of the table, and we're going to be trying to shoot to the low end of the table, which is a 1/4 inch lower than we are here. So now we're ready to adjust the rifle so that the bore scope will shine through the holes in the hinge plates. And remember, there's 82 of the hinge plates, and this will be the second part of the challenge that I mentioned earlier. You can see the laser, and what we'll be doing is slowly turning this thing around so that we get that laser aligned. And when we get it lined and you can see all the way to the other end, then we're going to line it up and see if we can shoot a bullet through it. Now I'm on the low end of the table, so this is where the laser will come through if we get it adjusted where it will come through. And it should show right here, hit me about right here when we get it adjusted. And they're trying to get it adjusted to come through down. We're still working on it. Oh, here it is now. Let me show you again this hinge plate with the hole in it. You see the size that the hole is. It's about 3/4 of an inch. And then we got this bullet here, this round that we're going to try to shoot through it. You can see we don't have much room for error. Remember, there's 82 hinge plates, holes that we're going to be shooting through, and they're only 3/4 of an inch in diameter. So we've added this balloon for a little more drama, and the bullet should hit right here where this laser is showing on the balloon. And we're about ready to shoot. We did it, all right. We did it. Don't try that with the sight belt. Straight as a gun barrel, myth or fact? Fact.